Hi YouTubers, Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone. And you know that recently we did a video on the accuracy and velocity of 45 Colt versus 45 ACP loads in the convertible revolvers such as the Ruger Blackhawk. And the conclusions that we drew from that was that the 45 ACP is as accurate and as efficient in terms of velocity as the 45 Colt loadings. Now, part of the economy and efficiency considerations are that the 45 ACP can shoot a very nice load of 4.7 grains of promo, a very inexpensive and economical powder, compared to the 45 Colt casings that take 9 or 8 grains of unique powder, which is a more expensive powder and about twice the charge, so that the 45 ACP becomes a much more economical round to shoot for the same performance, and that has some real bearing. So part of the 45 Colt's appeal is that it goes all the way back to 1873, and the reason why the case is as big as it is because it was designed to take a 255 grain round nose flat point bullet with 40 grains of black powder in the casing here. But that case capacity actually works against us for standard and mild loadings. Now we're using a 303 British round here as a pointer. That's my way of saying hi to John with no H7. Likes the 303 British, he does. Anyway, so hi John. So you'll notice that if we go ahead and seat this 262 grain semi-wad cutter Lee bullet right into the 45 Colt case so that the case is lined up with the crimping groove, that the bullet goes into the case about that far, leaving you with a cavernous powder space. And if we only use a small charge of fast burning powder or a medium burning powder, doesn't fill up that powder space very well, and that causes inconsistencies of the burn. Well, the most efficient is to have a powder that'll fill up the entire case capacity here for what we call high loading density, and that gives us more consistent burning, consistent performing load in terms of standard deviation and high-low velocity. Now, this doesn't mean that the 45 Colt isn't a usable cartridge. It's a very usable cartridge, very fun to shoot, and I like it so much that I've actually got 45 LC in my call sign. But in the 45 ACP, look what happens when we go ahead and seat the bullet so that the taper crimp is just at the edge of the semi-wad cutter shoulder. And the bullet goes into the case that far and leaves just the right amount of room for us to put a powder in there that'll be medium to medium fast burning, and it'll fill up that powder space completely, give us a very efficient burn and consistent burn. And in fact, this is the idea behind the 45 gap, because even the 45 ACP with 230 grain bullets, 230 grain round nose full metal jacket bullets leaves a powder space that's more than needed, so that the 45 gap even shortened the case more so that we use all of the powder space and gives you even a more efficient cartridge in the 45 gap. That is for those of us who shoot the 45 gap, and not all do. Give you another look at that. You see how that 4.7 grains of promo powder actually just fills that space behind the bullet perfectly. But the beauty of this is that all these loads with all these bullets perform exactly the same accuracy, same power, same consistency, same goodness, and cleanliness, non-leading. So why do all the work sizing and lubing when the tumble lube with the 45-45-10 system is so quick and easy, and we can do a whole bunch of them all at once, just let them dry overnight, ready to load? That's the way to go. Now, of course, you got to make sure that the loads that you're loading will chamber and function in your pistol, because the last thing you want to do is load 500 rounds and find out that they won't chamber. Well, it turns out that all of these do, which means that the unsized and 45-45-10 lubed, tumble lubed bullets are the way to go for this particular bullet, for this particular gun, and this particular bullet mold. So check yours and see if it works out for you. And YouTubers, once you know you're in business, then load up a storm, and then it's off to the range to have a good time with them. Once you know what you like, then cast up a passel of them. This is what I call a passel. Fortune Cookie 45 LC, fortune for the day. Never run short on what you like. Good grief, why do you need so many bullets?